Alright, welcome back to another episode of 2Guys 2Critical, the show where we rip apart or praise a lot of work by a lot of talented or not so talented people. I'm your host, Luke.
I'm Benny.
And today we're just going to kind of throw out a bunch of random movies that we may have not talked about yet that we think you should watch because we know better than you.
This is our Watch This episode. Or else.
I thought you were going to say this is our 100th episode.
That would be awesome.
It feels like we've made 100 episodes.
Yes. My first movie that, if you haven't seen it or haven't heard of it, we've talked about this director a bit. But if you haven't seen Unbreakable, it's kind of a...
It's an awesome DVD
It's an
design.
awesome, yeah. This is M. Night Shyamalan's, if you haven't seen Unbreakable, it's Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. And it's like a comic book story kind of a thing.
If it was like set in the real actual world.
In real life. So check this out. It's definitely something that I feel like the storyline, there's different stories in it all that connects around Bruce Willis's character. And
Ben loves circles.
Definitely.
It's pretty intense and some heavy stuff.
Yeah. So
it's heavy drama.
Definitely check it out.
A lot of these that I'm talking about I don't have yet, but I'm working on it. The first one I want to talk about, you're going to like this one, Ben. Thriller. A Cruel Picture.
Oh, that was Michael Jackson.
No. It's a really old, actual Grindhouse film from the 70s. And it's about a woman who's like a contract killer who gets betrayed by her clan. And so the whole movie is about her systematically killing each one by one.
Kind of like Kill Bill.
Exactly. Kill Bill is a remake of Thriller, A Cruel Picture.
Is everything a remake?
Pretty much. Every time she finally kills one of the people she's tracking, it's in like ridiculously slow motion. That she just fires one bullet and it takes up like 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
But it just looks so amazing.
When I worked at Blockbuster, I recommended this movie all the time.
You really did.
I did, because I was like, it was friggin' super cool. Book of Eli. I'm sure most of you have seen it. I mean, what were you going to watch? If you haven't seen this movie, it's really cool.
It really is.
It's futuristic. The guys who did this did a great job.
It's made by the Hughes brothers, who also made Menace to Society.
Yes.
And Dead Presidents.
The action in this movie and the story premise of what he's doing, I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but and who he is and what he's doing is very cool. Mila Kunis is in it too as well.
She's cute.
Yeah, so
and we're talking about M. Night Shyamalan. The Book of Eli has one of the greatest twist endings.
Yeah. Next for you.
Next for me is a film that Benny and I argue about a lot because we like being critical. It's The Conversation with Gene Hackman. I don't even know how to explain it. It's about a surveillance man he was a professional surveillance guy. He gets information from people without them knowing it. But then after a while he starts being surveyed by another surveillance man, and it just really creates this weird world that you don't know who or what anyone is.
You can't trust
and
anyone.
You can't trust anyone.
He gets real paranoid in it. The movie's really boring until the end.
Shut up.
So it is definitely creepy at the end.
It's very not action-y or gangstery like some of his other films, but it's still way better than his last 20 films. What did he just make? Twixt?
Next one for me, Out of Sight.
And Out of Mind.
Maybe, but just Out of Sight. This is a late 90s flick.
I love that cover. Hold it up a bit more. That looks very Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez.
If you like Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction kind of movies, this one, he's kind of very much was influenced by it. It's got George Clooney in it when he was pretty young. Jennifer Lopez is super young in it. She's gorgeous in the movie. Definitely a fun flick to watch. If you don't know what to watch on a Friday night, check this one out.
I'm going to check it out. I've not seen it yet.
George Clooney is super cool, and it was like right after he made Dawn from Dusk, and I always thought he was so
Dawn
cool.
from Dusk.
Dawn from right?
From Dusk Until Dawn.
From Dusk Until Dawn. I feel like in movies that like kind of jump around and kind of go flashbacks and flash forwards and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool.
Random rant. Why is it so freaking hard to find what year a movie was made? My next one, Chinatown.
If I, at Blockbuster, recommended Book of Eli to everyone, this man recommended Chinatown to everyone.
Specifically because it was Blockbuster, so we don't have anything of substance to offer people.
Did have Jack Nicholson's in that movie.
Faye Dunaway. It's a Roman Polanski film, who's also in it.
It's an excellent movie.
So if you want to see Jack Nicholson get his face split open, go watch Chinatown.
Okay, next movie for me. I did talk about Robert Rodriguez in a random rant, how frustrated I am, but I did grow up on this movie. I love this movie, one of my favorites, and I wish he would make something like it again. But Desperado, if you haven't seen Desperado, oh my goodness, please go watch this movie. It is Antonio Banderas' coolest movie, Salma Hayek's first movie, and Quentin Tarantino is in it, and he gets freaking killed, which is awesome. But
just like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. So he dies in all Robert Rodriguez's movie. Planet Terror. He dies in Planet Terror.
Because he wishes he was Quentin Tarantino.
I think so. So he just kills him off in every movie.
But what I'm going to talk about is El Mariachi.
Oh.
It's the original Desperado. He made it a few years before it.
Prior.
And in case you didn't know what before meant, every single time I watch El Mariachi, it gives me a headache. Just because the editing is so quick and the shots are so artistic, my brain can't process it all at once. It's very anti-Hollywood.
Yeah. Next one for me, last one, number 5, is Pan's Labyrinth. If you haven't seen this movie, it is really different. It's all in Spanish. Connecting with Desperado and Robert Rodriguez.
Don't connect to my dots.
Yes.
That's not okay.
And it's very graphic. It's
a very adult fantasy film.
Yeah. She follows kind of a grasshopper fairy thing and meets this goat gnome thing and
demon devil. Right?
Yeah, he's totally twisted evil, but
tells her to go into a lair with a monster with no eyes.
But he protects her.
It looks like a movie that Tim Burton wishes he made.
Yeah, definitely. But it's very realistic, very well done. I definitely recommend this one as well. So go check it out.
And then my last one's gonna be a newer film because that's all anyone really wants to hear about, I guess. Insidious. You all know me, I'm a ghost nut. I love ghosts and paranormal and
Ghost tapes.
Ghost tapes, go watch it. Insidious is one of the creepiest, most unsettling new films I've seen. It still doesn't.
New because it came out 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
5 years ago.
That constitutes new in my book.
New for Luke.
If you like ghosts and horror, and if you want to be scared, go check out the Insidious movies.
What's funny about our relationship is that Luke doesn't know anything of what's going on in the real world.
I have no clue.
In the present.
I'm stuck in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, he lives in the past. So I will tell him that movie came out or this is happening now, or whatever.
I have no choice but to believe him.
And he's like, what? So, our last movie suggestion, movie you should watch.
Honorable mention.
For me is Mel Gibson Apocalypto. Mel Gibson has had a bad rap in the last 15 years, since the movie Science. I don't know if it was M. Night Shyamalan did something to him, but he did this movie, he directed this movie, and if you haven't seen Apocalypto, definitely give it a chance. It is intense, and it's all in some crazy language, I don't know, but it's kind of boils down to it's the present time of when the pyramids were made in the Yucatan with the Incas and the Mayas, and I was blown away by it. I couldn't believe it. I had to have it. What is yours, Luke?
Mine's gonna be Brazil. A few episodes ago we were talking about Terry Gilliam,
Yep.
and I just my brain turned off and I couldn't remember Terry Gilliam films. Besides Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he made Brazil, which is one of the most crazy, zany, outlandish futuristic films a person could ever watch
Yeah, it's
or
weird.
make.
It's very weird.
You've seen Brazil.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it. When he finally finished it, the studios would not let him release it the way it was. They said, no. You need to reshoot this ending, make it happy, and then we'll release it. But if you like sci-fi, future, Terry Gilliam, it's funny, it's scary, it's weird, and it's just... Do you have anything to say, Ben? It's just, this movie's so hard to talk about.
It is. It's very confusing. It's very random. All Terry Gilliam's movies are on the verge of insanity.
But this one is like insanity stuffed into dynamite.
Yeah,
It just goes everywhere.
there's like one scene I think they're like in a restaurant and I don't even know what's happening and like, they feel like it's like something explodes.
It blows up.
It just blows up. So that's our show of random movies that suggestion box that you should watch. If you're like me, you're always like, what should I watch this weekend, or what should I watch today, or whatever. And I just look at my collection and think, oh yeah, they're all good.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Blew me away.
It made you want to watch it again because you gotta see what you want to watch it closer. So,
I want to watch it again now that you say it.
yeah.
Can I borrow that?
No.
Well, I can't watch Blu-ray anyways.
Can't.
I don't want your crummy Blu-ray. Your pristine crystal HD Blu-ray. You can keep it.